Alright, so I wanted to make a quick video here of my new air compressor that I put together. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos that I had gotten some stuff and was going to be putting one together, but I just wanted to kind of show it to you and kind of go over it, and we'll take a look at what I've done to this one that maybe the other one doesn't have, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we'll kind of start down here at the bottom. The tank, I believe, is like a 30-gallon. It may be a 40, but I'm thinking it's a 30. I don't think it had any labeling on it of actually what size it was. I did mount some wheels on all four of the little feet just for easy maneuverability. The motor is a 2-horsepower farm duty motor. It's an electric motor. And there was no electrical cover for it, so I'll have to make one out of some thin sheet metal. So 2-horsepower electric motor, and then the pump here is I believe I looked it up and it was like a 10.5 or thereabout CFM pump. It's a 3-cylinder single stage pump, and so far from what I found, it works well. I believe brand new the pumps are like $700 around there. The motor like 400 something, and then who knows about the tank. I managed to get the pump, the motor, and the tank for $20. Somebody was just getting rid of it on Craigslist. They were going to scrap it, so it was actually separate. But I welded on here, so I welded kind of on the four corners. There's one there, one over there. I had to get plumbing, the pressure switch for it, the electrical, and some of the other things here for it. So let's go around and check out kind of how this one operates. Alright, so after the air comes out of the pumps, so there's one pump here, another one here, and then the third one over here, and then this hose in the back kind of connects them all. And after it comes out of there, it comes through this hose here, and I have mounted on the back a tube and fin cooler. I believe it's a Derail. I'm not exactly sure of the price of it, but also one thing, if you're gonna buy one of these are not just your standard fittings. I believe there's some hydraulic hose type fitting. I believe it's like a -8 AN or whatever is the type of fitting it is, but it goes through there, and that cools it as well as condenses it to kind of separate the water and the air. Then as it goes through the system, I bought this air-water separator, and so it'll run through there, take the air and run it through, and in the little basin at the bottom, it will collect the water, and once there's enough water in it, it will automatically drain. So I wanted an automatic drain so that I didn't have to drain it myself, and that it would just run constantly and I wouldn't have to worry about that. From there, it goes and then it empties it into the tank. And part of the reason why I put the separator on there as well as the condenser is to help give me more dry air. It's not going to give me more air, but it'll give me drier air, and then it won't rust out the tank as much either. So then here on the front end, nothing special. I have my pressure switch here, and then this hose down here actually goes into the tank. That's kind of to regulate the pressure. 2 outlets, the pressure relief valve. I'm going to add a pressure gauge probably right here. This is 10-2 wire, I believe, that I have running from the motor into there, and then another cord that kind of I have some length of cord with it. And back in here, this piece right here is actually a one-way valve, so it lets air into the tank, but not air back out. The compressor, from what I've had it running, runs well. It's actually very quiet. So I'll turn it on here in a minute and show you, but let me just quick show you some of the electrical for it. Alright, so where it plugs into the wall, for the electrical side of it, I ended up changing out this outlet here in our garage. It was a 120 volt 15 amp outlet, but due to the amp ratings on the compressor motor, I believe it's 115 volts at like 18 amps. So I wired this, the cord here for an end for the 120 volt 20 amps. So I put an outlet in here for the 20 amps. It's still 115 or 120 volts, but now it'll take a 20 volt plug instead of a 15 due to my ratings here on the compressor. You can kind of see right up over here, it has the volts and then the I believe full load amps. So at 115 volts, 18.8 amp at full load, and then if I'm running on 230 volts, then a 9.4 amp draw. So I'll go ahead and fire it up, and you can hear how it sounds. So let me go over here. We'll turn on the switch. It's actually very quiet. You can see it's running through the air-water separator. I don't know if you can see in there. There's kind of some condensation dripping down the side. So far it's working great, very quiet. I'm very pleased with it, especially for the $20 I paid for kind of the major components of it, for the pump, the motor, and the tank. So I'm very pleased with it, and hopefully it'll work well.